we might see DJ out of the lineup halfway through the season. That could possibly happen.
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on, YouTube? Biggie546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so let's get straight into it. Logan Ryan got cut. And this isn't what you would call a surprising move. It's not a surprising move at all. I wouldn't call it that. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, it's not surprising that they would cut Logan Ryan because he's not a guy that I can see as, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, him being on the team. And we are sort of retooling, whatever they want to call it. They never want to just admit they were rebuilding. But he's not going to be here as far as the even, midterm plans. So it made no sense to keep that guy on this roster. I think he was due like 9 million or 10 million or 11, somewhere around that range. And it made no sense to keep a guy like that, especially when maybe he might have a couple of good more years left. You might as well let him go to another team and do what he has to do over there on that other team and have a chance to win. So we decided to part ways with Logan Ryan, cut him. At first, we heard things that we would only save $1 million because the Giants were, designated him to not be a post-June 1st cut, meaning that I'm pretty sure that salary, that dead cap, would go over into next year if we didn't designate him to be a post-June 1st cut. It would roll over to next year, and they didn't want to do that, so they chose not to save the $9 million this year, and we thought that we would only save $1 million. But in his contract, March 19th, which is Saturday, if he's able to be released before Saturday, which he has been released, $6 million of that guaranteed money does not happen. He loses out on $6 million of that. So we ended up saving $6 million on the cap, pretty much. Most of his guaranteed money, as I was saying, is due after March 19th. So a lot of contract lawyer language. I don't really, I don't know what his contract looks like. But at the end of the day, cutting Logan Ryan gave us an extra $6 million in cap space, and that made me think like this is what they were planning as far as the moves that they were making. This is what they were getting out of that. This is what they were planning on doing to make sure that these moves kept them in a place where they could pay these 3 players or 4 players that they signed. Now, Logan Ryan, his first year here, in my opinion, was a Pro Bowl year. It was a Pro Bowl year. Him and Jabril Peppers were all over the field. But last year, not as good. I'm thinking he's on the downs. He's on the downside of his career. And I think he still can be a good player and if used the right way. And hopefully he goes to a team that's able to utilize him and he can get a couple more good years. But I just don't think it was worth keeping him here. So now we have Xavier McKinney. And it makes you think, now that Xavier McKinney is the only safety, the only starting safety we really have, is Kyle Hamilton in play at 7? I don't think he'll be in play at 5 because I think you need to make sure you really solidify the line of scrimmage, whether that be a tackle, whether that be an edge player that you like. I think you take that guy at 5 no matter what. I don't see the Panthers taking Kyle Hamilton, so he will probably be there at 7, and I don't see anybody trading up to the Panthers pick to take Kyle Hamilton. So I think if Kyle Hamilton is available there at 5, we can basically take him at 7. So that's possible. That's on the table, I think. And a Kyle Hamilton film session, I probably will try to get that out soon now that he's really on our map. He was going to eventually, he was always in play. Definitely always was in play. But now that everything has been done, definitely in play at 7. So Kyle Hamilton is in play. Also, another note I had, James Bradberry is still here. When I first saw Giants have released, I was kind of upset because I was like, we couldn't find a trade partner for James Bradberry. Now we're cutting him. We're going to lose out on a bunch of money, and we're not going to get any picks. So I was upset at first, but then I saw it was Logan Ryan, and it made sense. But Bradberry is still here. He's probably going to be held until we have to pay our draft guys. That's probably as long as they'll hold him to make sure that they can get as much as they can. Depending on if guys get enough money out of the draft. If guys, not enough money, if teams can't get cornerbacks that they like out of this draft, he'll probably be someone that will still be on that trading block. I've heard the Raiders are interested. Buffalo is interested in a cornerback across from Tre'Davious White, and we also have that Buffalo connection. So Bradberry could be traded very soon, and he could also be traded after the draft. Either way, we're going to need that money on his contract to pretty much pay, to pay our draft guys, our first round guys and our second round guys, and so on and so on. So also, the Giants made another move yesterday. They signed Ricky Seals-Jones. And I'm not sure if that was yesterday or the day before, but I'm pretty sure it was yesterday because I put out a tweet. Put out a tweet saying, why are we worrying about signing a veteran tight end? Blah, blah, blah. It's not an important position. You can get a good production out of a tight end anywhere. And then literally as soon as I pressed send for that tweet, we signed Ricky Seals-Jones. So we signed him one day, fun fact, one day after his birthday. He just turned 27. So still a pretty young player. He's got, as far as tight ends go, you can play tight end all the way up until you're about 32, 33, sometimes older than that. So age isn't really a factor here. I think we got him on a 1-year deal. I'm thinking he's the guy that's 6'5". He's from Washington. He started off, I'm pretty sure, for the Buccaneers. If you look at his year-by-year stats, I'll just go through them. He's never been he's never really been a guy who you thought was a superstar tight end or even a starting tight end, but he's always been kind of consistent, kind of reliable there. But let's look at it. Now that I'm looking at it, he was never on the Bucs. I'm probably getting confused with Austin Seferian-Jenkins. But let's look at Ricky Seals-Jones. 2017, 12 receptions, 201 yards, 29 as his longest catch, and 3 touchdowns. Second year, 34 catches, 343, 1 touchdown. Third year, 14 catches, 229, 4 touchdowns. And then with Washington last year, 30 receptions, 271, and 2 touchdowns. And one was that game-winning touchdown against the Giants. So we all know who he is because he caught that game winner against the Giants. So that's Ricky Seals-Jones. I see him as a guy that could, tight ends always have the chance to break out. It's easy to get the ball to the tight end. They just have to be able to catch the ball, have sure hands. I think that he could be a decent tight end for us. I think I would be okay with him being the starting tight end, but I do think that we're going to take a guy in the draft that'll end up being at least a starter or, 1A, 1B to Ricky Seals-Jones. But that's a solid signing. We got him for really cheap, and I think all he'll do is help the team. He's a veteran. You kind of need that veteran presence there. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to look at his film as far as blocking goes, but as far as receiving, he can catch the ball. He can high point the ball in the red zone. He's able to pretty much be that receiving tight end for you, and he's not really the slowest guy. He can also, be a guy that stretches the seam. And then finally, Tyrod Taylor was signed to the New York Giants. The last 2 days I haven't been able to get a video out, but Tyrod Taylor has signed to the New York Giants. The dude, first off, over 2,000 rushing yards in his career, over 10,000 yards passing. He got drafted by Baltimore. He's been all around the league. He went to Buffalo, got a chance to start for a little bit there, made a Pro Bowl in Buffalo the first year that Joe Shane was there, took the Bills to the playoffs in Buffalo. So Tyrod Taylor, he is a vet. He's a vet. He's not a high-end starter. He's probably on the lower end of a starter, but I think he's a starting level quarterback in this league. I really do. I think that he's elevated a couple of bad teams that he's been on. So just the fact that he's that good shows that if you're bringing him in to be your backup, he's overqualified for that. I do think he'll push Daniel Jones. Will he take that job from him? We'll find out. We'll find out if he can take the job from DJ. But Tyrod Taylor is a vet. He's a guy that's going to compete. He's a guy that's experienced. Again, great touchdown to interception ratio for most of his career. He's had multiple seasons with over 20 touchdowns, under 7 interceptions. That's a great touchdown to interception ratio. I haven't seen him fumble a bunch. So he seems like he's a safe guy. He's a stopgap level quarterback. And with a stopgap guy, depending on who your coach is, if he sees DJ making a bunch of mistakes and he's looking to maybe take a rookie quarterback next year, we might see DJ out of the lineup halfway through the season. That could possibly happen. So Tyrod is an experienced guy, as I said. I just watched his interview. The media tried. They tried so hard to get him to say, I'm coming in to be the starting quarterback, or I think Daniel Jones is going to get injured so I can play. But he didn't do that. He's obviously okay and able to handle the Giants media. But it's just this simple. Listen, DJ, you can argue about how good he is. We can argue about that until the cows come home. But one thing that he absolutely has not proven is that he can stay healthy. So it seems like it's a matter of when DJ gets hurt. And I'm not wishing this on anybody. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But if he has to go out of the lineup, we have someone who's competent, who can maybe play even at the same level, who also has legs like DJ. They won't have to change much up if Tyrod comes in there. It won't have to change much of anything up at all. I think they're very similar. They both have underratedly strong arms. I think they're both similar guys. So good signing by the Giants. We also I think he only counts for like $2 million on the cap this year. Next year probably is going to get backloaded, but also most of it isn't guaranteed. I think it's about I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, great signing by the Giants. They've made a couple of really low-cost signings of guys. Listen, in the past with Dave Gettleman, with Jerry Reese, you miss on a free agency signing, you're cap strapped for 3-4 years because you signed some huge contract. But all of these are low-tier contracts. We can get out of them next year with little to no cap hit as far as penalizing our team. And I think all of these guys that we've signed so far can contribute to helping our team out this year. So great job so far by Joe Schoen. You guys let me know what you're thinking of all the signings. Logan Ryan got cut. I wish him the best. You made it this deep into the video. Come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.